Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and creator of New York Comic Con, Mr. Greg Topalian!
Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome to the 6th New York Comic Con. Not to get too sappy or syrupy to start off the day, but I do want to thank all of you for all of your support and making this show as great as it is. Honestly, 6 years ago, when we thought about launching New York Comic Con and creating a major East Coast con, we had some big thoughts and big dreams, but I'm not sure we ever really thought it would be what it is today, and that's only because of you and your support, so thank you so much. So a couple of reminders, a couple of housekeeping things for the IGN Theater. Some really good stuff. One is we do not clear the room between sessions, okay? So whether that's today, tomorrow, or Sunday, you're obviously turning out in big form here for our first panel, but throughout the course of this day, if you really want to know you're going to get to a panel that's at 5 o'clock, don't come at 10 to 5. Make sure you sit through other panels. So that's good news for you. There usually are going to be Q&A sessions. Mics will be at the end of these aisles. Always a great and fun thing for us, but if we could limit our sort of marriage proposals and things that eat in a lot of time, and I'm not saying Chris Evans is going to get those, but it's probably going to happen. I mean, I might even do that, and that's not even my thing, but, so, my wife would be furious, but anyway. So, also, try to keep it to one question per person and no requests for photos or autographs, because it really just slows things down and it doesn't get to as many people to ask questions. What else? The schedule. So we have an amazing day today and tomorrow and Sunday, so I'm not going to take you through the whole thing, but I am going to talk a little bit about today. So we're leading off today with Batman Arkham City. Pretty sweet. Next up, we have, this is a bit of a late edition, so I want to make sure you guys know this, that Sci-Fi has renewed the series Haven for a 3rd season. Very exciting. That's at 1:45 in this room. We've got cast and exclusive footage, so make sure you hang out for that. And then we've got, we're back to the DC Universe with some animated exclusives. And then we have the Venture Brothers. Then we have Robot Chicken. And then we have a bit of a break. And then we finish off our evening with a couple of guys that I wasn't familiar with called Jay and Silent Bob. I don't know. So those are my housekeeping points. I'm going to bring up to moderate the Batman Arkham City panel Guy Kroll, who's the founder and principal of Hit Detection, which is an esteemed consultant agency. And prior to that, he actually spent 14 years covering technology, internet, and video games for Newsweek. So please welcome Guy.
Hello, everyone. As said, my name is Guy Kroll. I'm the last thing standing between you and what you're here to see, Batman Arkham City. So what is Batman Arkham City? Well, it's the follow-up to Batman Arkham Asylum, which was it. Not only was it a hit with gamers around the world, but with reviewers around the world as well. And in fact, it holds the Guinness World Record for most critically acclaimed superhero game ever. Like any good rapper would say, I gotta let you know when the game is out. Tuesday, October 18th. Go get it. Let me introduce you to our panel. First up, Sefton Hill, the game director from Rocksteady Studios. A dramatic Batman-style entrance there from Sefton. Next up, Nick Arundel, audio director at Rocksteady Studios. Next up, the man, the myth, the voice, Kevin Conroy. I don't know why you're applauding. You just missed out on the chance to record that for your ringtone. And the last member of our panel, Claudio Sanchez, frontman, popular progressive band Coheed and Cambria, and a comic book creator and writer of his own right. Claudio, please. Thank you all for joining us today. Let's get it rolling. So Nick Sefton, Batman Arkham Asylum set the bar for video game quality, particularly with regard to superhero titles. You know, someone who covered games for a long time, generally when you get a superhero title, you're not expecting it to be that great. This one was different. What were your goals when setting out to make Arkham Asylum?
I mean, when we started Arkham Asylum, the thing that we really wanted to push was to try and make the most authentic Batman game we possibly could. You know, at Rocksteady, we're just huge fans of Batman, so getting this opportunity to work on this game was phenomenal. You know, I've always said it's such a privilege to get to work on Batman, so those are all, our dual goals are always just to make a game that's really authentic, but something that's also really fun, and that's definitely something that we've tried to follow through to Arkham City.
And how, when you're coming off a game that's that acclaimed, that successful, I mean, you heard the audience, they love it. In your head, are you intentionally trying to say like, well, we have to top that now? Is that with the attitude you're going with, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think at the end of Arkham Asylum, there's definitely hundreds of things we didn't manage to do that we wanted to do, and so that's the next thing, first thing we worked on, the next one. Absolutely.
It's sort of, you know, it is quite overwhelming, you know, like, you know, thanks to you guys and the response we got from you guys, it is quite daunting and scary.
Yeah.
You know, but I think at the same time, it really inspires us because when we're working like in a bunker for 2 years, you know, it really inspires us to do, like, you know, for the last 9 months especially, it's been pretty crazy. We've been working weekends till 1 in the morning every day, and I think when we look at that and see that anticipation, it's something that definitely keeps us going.
Yeah, it's like the news one, so it's like a mission to Mars. Like we go into this little bubble, and then 2 years later, out comes a game. Throughout that, we feel that kind of weight of expectation. And all we want to think about is how we make that authentic Batman experience.
Bigger. Stats about the game. How big is the game world? What are the takedowns? How many new gadgets? From a stat perspective, what are we looking at here?
I mean, I think we sort of thought, how do we make the best Batman game we could? So our kind of initial thing wasn't just to make it bigger. That all really come from the fact that we just wanted to take Batman into Gotham City. You know, that was what got us really excited. I mean, in terms of stats, I would say the game world is probably about 5 times the size of Arkham Island. The play time to take down all the supervillains is over 30 hours, well over 30 hours. I mean, it's really been something that we've been really passionate about. You know, we've doubled Batman's moves, doubled the number of animations.
Doubled the amount of dialogue.
Doubled the amount of dialogue that came out.
I'm surprised you can still speak. Did you double the size of the team?
We didn't actually. I mean, we started Arkham Asylum with just under 40 people and finished it with just under 60 people, which is kind of relatively small for the size title it was. At the moment, we went from about 60 to just under 100, which again isn't that big, but I think that's the way we prefer it because for us it is a real kind of labour of love. It is a real passion. So we want to kind of keep it small enough that everyone can share that passion.
Well, I think the massive team up at Ubisoft Montreal needs to talk to you guys about how you're able to do all of this with just 100 people. I love Assassin's Creed, but we're not here to talk about that. Now, when you talked about taking Batman out of Arkham and into the streets of Gotham, is it accurate to say that sort of the genre changed? Like, I mean, this is an open world game now. How do you go from making an acclaimed action-adventure game to now taking on one of the most daunting genres out there next to MMOs?
We kind of approached it with the same attitude, really, that we just wanted to make something that felt really handcrafted. Like, I think a number of open world games, as they expanded to open world, tend to lose that detail and you kind of have a lot of sacrifices. And we sort of said up front that we don't want to do that. We want a game with all the care and attention of Arkham Asylum, but on a bigger campus. So I think that was the main driver for us, was how do we take Batman into Gotham, but show that whole area that you can go to, fulfill that dream of gliding through the streets, diving and gliding down the back alleyways, and having all of these supervillains in there and the way they bounce off of each other, and the threats that Batman has to deal with. That was all what we really wanted to do. So we didn't really look at it in terms of taking on open world games as much as just, this game has to feel like Batman in Gotham City. That was our goal, and that was, I think, hopefully what we achieved.
But it's in a city, so it's obviously narrative-led, and that narrative demanded us. It's all about the narrative, it's all about the story. It just so happens you've got this to be wrong. Thanks to
Claudio, as a fan of the game, you obviously loved the first one. You're excited for the second one. Is that what you wanted to see out of it? When you finished up Arkham Asylum, when you beat the game, got 100%, got all that last achievement or trophy, whichever system you played it on, what were you wanting to see them do the next time around?
For me, I think I wanted to see the calendar. I don't know. I mean, I was so thrilled with the game that I just kind of wanted more, and I was hoping that you guys would, do a follow-up. I mean, in terms of like the details of video games and things like that, I mean, I like to play the campaigns. I like to go through the story, I'm, as a comic book writer, I mean, that's the most important thing, I think, is a strong story, and Arkham Asylum had that, and just wanted kind of a follow-up to it. And I'm very excited and to play the next one for sure. I mean, when the opportunity came to be a part of the soundtrack, I mean, it was something that, for me as a fan of the character, I mean, I jumped. I mean, I was telling you guys yesterday in the morning, I mean, it took me over a day and a half to create the song. I was so enthused, so yeah, I'm sorry.
I think we're all fanboys a little bit up here. Now, the story doesn't write itself. Renowned Batman writer Paul Dini scripted the intricate storylines within the game, and unfortunately he couldn't make the trip to New York. What's the process for writing a game like Arkham City?
I mean, we had, at the start of the game, we basically sat down, pulled through over to the Rocksteady Studios, and we basically sat down and kicked around different ideas for what we want to do, where we wanted the story to go. We had an idea, as you would have seen from the sort of clues that we left in Arkham Asylum, of where the story was going to lead, and the fact that Quincy Sharp was running for mayor, and there was a secret office that had these plans in for Arkham City. So we kind of had a broad outline for where we wanted to go. We kind of knew the main story beats, and then Paul came over and we worked out all the main details, and also some guys from DC as well, who, I've got to say have been phenomenal with us. They give us a ton of support, and you hear sometimes that working on licensed games is difficult, but working with those guys, honestly, it's brilliant. They always come to us with ideas, and it's been, really between us, between DC, between Paul Dini, throwing ideas around for the story and getting all of the characters we want to get, and just tell a great Batman story. That's kind of where we always start.
Level up!